guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Paige, and today I want to talk to you about how to support a friend or family member with a chronic illness. I myself have a chronic illness. I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. If you are curious about this, you can check out my video. I will link it here. And ever since I got diagnosed with hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, it's been a learning experience for my friends and family on how to better support me physically and emotionally, so that everyday tasks feel more normal to me and I don't feel so left out. So I'm gonna share some of these tips with you guys today. The first thing that I want to talk about is the difference between physical support and emotional support. So physical support is like acts of service. What can you do for somebody? And emotional support is more words of affirmation and talking about feelings and things you can do to make that person feel good. And I mean, both of these things can make someone feel good. Someone might like one more than the other, physical support or emotional support. I know for me, I love emotional support. It's what I need in life, and a lot of people in my life don't know how to support emotionally, so that's part of my reason in making this video. I really want to share with you guys how to support people like me. So if you want some tips on how to support someone with a chronic illness, please keep watching. So I'm going to start with physical support today. Things you can do to physically support someone with a chronic illness. You can bring them dinner. It is as simple as this, you guys. Ask them, what are your dietary restrictions, and bring them dinner. It can be very, very difficult to cook some nights. It can be hard to eat out because of the dietary restrictions. So making that move to bring them dinner, knowing what they can and can't eat, would mean the world, the absolute world. The next thing that you can do is help someone with their daily chores or daily tasks. My dad has been very, very helpful lately, both of my parents actually, with chores, like cleaning the dishes, vacuuming the floors, things that have been a little bit harder for me lately because of my shoulder and neck pain. So yeah, helping someone with those daily chores and tasks can be very, very helpful and take a lot off of someone's plate. The next thing that you can do might sound obvious, but go over to their house and watch a movie. It's very easy to feel left out when you have a chronic illness, just because you don't get invited to as much stuff because they know that you can't come or that you will probably say no. So they stop inviting you or don't invite you to begin with. And while that's okay sometimes, like if you're going rollerblading, please don't invite me. I don't want to go. But if you're inviting people over to swim, I can swim. I can put my feet in the pool. Still invite me, even if you think I'm going to say no, just because it'll make me feel good. And coming over to watch a movie with me, it shows that you know that I'm in pain and can't do much, and that you want to support me, you want to hang out with me, so it doesn't matter what we do. You're cool just coming over, watching a movie, and eating popcorn, because that's super fun to me. I've had a lot of friends in the past just kind of ditch me when I'm sick or injured, and the friends who have come over to watch a movie with me while I'm sick, I appreciate you, and I'll always remember that. We're going to move into how to support someone emotionally, and this is going to be the main part of the video because this is stuff that I feel like people don't practice enough. Even with regular friendships, people who don't have a chronic illness, some of these things can still apply to you, so please keep watching. This first tip is to be patient and understanding. When a friend tells you no and they have a chronic illness, it's not because they don't want to hang out with you 99.9% of the time. It's because they are in pain, or they can't eat, or they haven't slept well, or one of their many symptoms is acting up and they don't have the energy to entertain you right now. And that's honest, but it's true. It has nothing to do with you. If I say no, you need to try to be understanding with me because I'm struggling. And you don't need to, but it would be very, very nice if you would be patient and understanding with me when I am having a bad day. Another thing about being patient and understanding is if I'm having a bad day, I'm probably going to be in a nasty mood. I don't mean to take that out on anybody, but sometimes I do take it out on my parents, I notice, and I shouldn't. I'm sorry about it, but if they're patient and understanding with me when I'm in those moods, I'll usually come out of them pretty fast. But things can get pretty heated if we're both having bad days, so yeah. And I already mentioned this with physical support, but if they cancel, don't get angry with them or ask, why don't you like me anymore? It has nothing to do with you. I'm going to say it again. Just please be understanding. Please don't get angry with us. Just say, I hope that you have a better day tomorrow and that I can see you soon. The next tip is to listen to them without trying to fix them. And this can be very hard to listen without giving your input, but sometimes people just gotta vent and friends just gotta listen. I mean, I want your opinion, I really do, but don't nag me about it. Give me your opinion once and then let me make my own decision. Or sometimes I want people to just listen and not talk, and sometimes I do want people's opinions and their feedback. And if you're not sure what that person is looking for when they're talking to you, you can straight up just ask, do you want me to just listen or do you want my opinion? Do you want my input? It's not rude to ask. And it has helped a lot with me and my boyfriend. When I vent to him, he can really read me on if I want his feedback or if I'm looking for a vent sesh. But if he doesn't know, he does ask, and it makes the conversation go so much smoother, and it allows him to support me in such a big way. The next one is do not question their pain or their symptoms. It's obvious. Just believe me. If I tell you I'm in pain, I'm not lying. I go through this every single day. There's no need for me to lie and tell you that I need a pity party, because I don't. So just believe me. You can also look up their diagnosis and ask them how it affects them. I know for my diagnosis, it affects everyone very, very differently. So someone else with hypermobile Ehlers Danlos syndrome might have completely different symptoms than I do. So you can look up their diagnosis and you can ask them how it affects them in their daily life. That will mean a lot too, because it's hard to get someone to look up your diagnosis or to try to understand. I have family members who are very, very close to me who still have probably never even typed it into the Google search bar. So yeah, look it up, learn something about it, and share that with them. My next tip is to check in on your friend or family member every once in a while. Let them know that you're thinking about them. Let them know that you're there for them if they need you. And even if you live with the person, you can still ask them, how are you feeling today? How are your symptoms? How is your pain? Where are you at today mentally? You can still check in on me. I love this. I think that when people check in on me, it shows me that they care. And yeah, check in on me. Do not compare your pain or your symptoms to theirs. It's not the same. It will never be the same. Even if you had the same thing as me, don't try to compete symptoms. That's just not a fun or healthy game for anybody. So you can say, oh, sometimes I feel like that too. Tell me more about how that, you could ask questions like that, but don't say, oh, well, mine's way worse. You could never understand mine. Even as someone with a chronic illness, I would never say that to somebody. I would never say that to anybody. Don't compare symptoms. It's not nice. It's rude. My next tip is don't bring up weight loss or weight gain. It's obvious not to bring up weight gain with people, but for people with chronic illness, weight loss can be unintentional. I know I have gastroparesis, and that's been contributing to my weight loss lately. And I don't get offended too much when people ask me, but I can definitely see and feel how other people would get offended by that situation, because it is really hard to control your weight. My next tip for you is to remind your friend or family member that they're not a burden and that they're not less of a person because of their pain or their illness. It is very easy to get in your head when you have a chronic illness about your contribution to society and your future and what you do to the people's lives around you. So it's just so important to remind them that it's okay. So yeah, tell them that they're not a burden. Tell them that they're not less of a person because of their symptoms. It's very, very validating and beautiful to hear. My last tip is don't shame anyone for their medical choices. This goes for everyone, not just chronic illness patients, but people's medical choices are their own. They are not yours. You can put your input in once. Do not shame them on what they decide to do. Do not push them to do something that they don't want to do. One person's medical choices are their own, and it should stay that way. The last thing that I really wanted to talk about today is practicing your own self-care when you are supporting someone with a chronic illness. It can be emotionally and physically draining to support someone with a chronic illness. So it's important to take space from that person, practice your own self-care, and do things that make you happy. You can never ever put someone else before yourself. You always have to take care of yourself before anyone else. It's like when the oxygen masks come down in an airplane and you're supposed to put your own on before you help anyone else, even like a baby. You have to take care of yourself to be able to take care of other people. So please remember to practice your own self-care if you are supporting someone with a chronic illness, or even if you're not. Practice your own self-care no matter what. Well, I think I've pretty much talked about everything, but I would love to do a part 2 to this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, any other ideas on how to support someone with a chronic illness, please put them in the comment section so that I can include them in the next video on this topic. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see my future content. And yeah, have a beautiful day, you guys. I am so grateful that you watched my video today. And yeah, thank you so much for supporting. Bye, you guys.